Hey crafty friends, Anat Kessler here with Saturday Extravaganza, and today I'm creating an art journal page, and I'm also destashing a little bit, getting rid of some leftover letter stickers that I have. And it's a great way to maximize your leftover supplies that you don't use anymore because you only have a few letters left and you can't spell anything with them. So here's a nice way to use them. I have here a little cloth or a paper or a kitchen towel, because what I want to do is stick those letter stickers on the art journal page, but I want to be able to remove them later, so I want to make their glue behind them less sticky. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking them on my kitchen towel, so the adhesive behind the backing of the letter will not be so strong, and then when I want to remove them, the paper will not tear. You can also do it on your pants, but I think it's easier to use a kitchen towel or some kind of fabric or cloth or something like that. So what I'm going to do is simply take the letter stickers that I have and glue them down, attach them to my paper. Different directions, different sizes, different letters. You can just play around with whatever letter stickers that you have. It doesn't matter the color, it doesn't matter the size, it doesn't matter the design. Whatever, the more designs and shapes and sizes that you have, the better result you'll have later. So I'm using different size. The color doesn't matter because we are going to cover that. You're not going to see the colors of the stickers, so that's irrelevant. And it's a good way to use different sizes because then you can fill in all these empty spots on the paper, which is what we want. We want just a big spot of letters on our page. And as you can see, I'm using all kinds of leftovers, and usually if you check your leftover letter stickers, you will find out that you are basically always left with the same letters, which are less used, obviously. And you know, all the Q's and the Z and the X's and W's and all those letters. And I have them for ages. These are really old letter stickers that I have, and they've been just lying there without, just taking up space. And I said to myself, I have to find a way to use them because they're just annoying me sitting there. I can't spell any word, or maybe only one word, but it's always not the word that I need. So I came up with this idea, and it's a good idea because then I get to do an art journal page, which I love, and I get to use all those leftover letter stickers, which is good too. So how does the sentence go? 2 birds with 1 stone. So this is basically the idea. So I'm arranging the letters in sort of a funnel shape, more or less. So for the tip of the funnel, I'm going to use smaller letters, obviously, because I need to create a tip, so I can't use large letters, which are easier to remove with tweezers. So I'm just creating the tip of the funnel now. And actually this looks good as is, but I want to cover them. Maybe one day I'll leave them colorful like this, but now for the purpose of this art journal page, I'm going to cover them and hide their colors. Okay, so I think I'm happy with the shape now. And what I'm going to do now is take some gesso and just with the brush go over the entire page, the entire spread, covering the page and the letter stickers. And I don't need to cover them completely. I don't care that it is still visible. This is just a protective sealing layer that prepares the surface for my next layer. So this is a good way to also cover everything. Of course, make sure it's dry with your heat tool. Always makes things faster and easier. And then I'm going to take some gelatos, different colors of gelatos, and a baby wipe, and just spread them around my spread and add color to my spread there. Different colors. I'm using blue, light blue. Actually, I don't even know what I'm going to use. I'm just adding colors. Green is a good idea. Colors that blend well together. So, and I'm adding the same colors to both sides in different places, so it will look like one spread. Darker green. And it's really easy to use the baby wipe to do it because it helps, it wets the gelatos and then they blend easier and spread easier. So that's, you can use your finger, but that won't be as effective as using a baby wipe. A little more blue down there. A little bit of yellow is always good. Adding some yellow. I actually don't even like yellow, but I found it's really, I really like it on projects, so there it is. You'll never see me wear anything in yellow, but on projects it's really bright and, you know, gives a very good feeling of light and happiness. A little bit more blue, and it blends together with the yellow, creating more green and another shade of darker blue. And you can see I'm just putting a little bit of gelato, and that goes a long way on the paper with the baby wipe. And I also want, I think I'm going to add some purple too. See how beautiful that looks already? Just a little bit of purple here and there. And of course you would need to change your baby wipe at some point because it's going to be full of gelatos and all the colors are going to be too blended, at least on the baby wipe, so take a clean one. Okay, I'm drying everything, and I'm also adding a little bit of gesso in some of the areas just to add a little bit more white to the mixture. It's another shade of color basically. Gesso is so versatile, you can use it in so many ways. I'm using my fingers, obviously. You can do it with a brush or the baby wipe, but then you'll lose a big amount, so that's why I'm using my fingers. A little bit more here. Okay, a little bit on the sides. And I think this looks really good, but just want to add another layer to my page, and I'm going to dry this first, but then I'm going to add a little bit of ink gold. Just a little bit of gold is always good, right? So I'm just again adding it with my finger here and there. If you have another color of ink gold, you can use that, but I like the gold one. Just add a little tiny bit of sparkle, so I like that. Okay, by the way, you see all the letters are now, all the colors are completely gone. Now what I'm going to do is remove the letters. That might take a little while because all that gelatos and the gesso have glued them firmly to the paper. So I'm using my tweezers, and don't worry, they will come off because their glue is not too strong. And if they tear a little bit and leave like leftovers on the paper, we like that. It's more texture. I don't care if they're only, as long as the top part of the sticker is gone, then I'm happy. It might take a little while because you have to do it slowly and patiently, but you get the beautiful effect. If you don't want to remove them, by the way, you can leave them like that because they're already blended with all the colors and to the background of the page. But I wanted them to create, I've used them sort of like a stencil or a mask. More, it's a mask, it's not a stencil. I use them as a mask, and I want the white background of each letter to show. But again, that's up to you because that's what I wanted to do. So I'm removing them one by one, fast forwarding a little bit because it does take a little bit of time. You have to get there. I'm using tweezers with a very sharp point so I can get under the sticker and then remove it. But see, the effect is really cool. You get all the letters in white, and you may ask yourself, well, you could have used a stencils with letter and avoid all of this. But first of all, I wanted to use my stickers. Second of all, when you use a stencil, the letters are usually in order, A, B, C, D, etc., and they're all facing the same direction, and I didn't want that. I wanted all the letters to be jumbled up, different directions, different sizes, and I don't know of any stencil. Maybe there is one, but I don't have it. So this way, again, two birds with one stone. And this way, when you remove your stickers and throw them away, you won't feel bad because you would know that you've used them for something, and well, they've served their purpose, but still was a good purpose, right? So I am keeping on removing those. Almost done. I really love the effect that was created on this page. And by the way, you can do this with numbers too. If you have a lot of number stickers, you can do it with that too, or any other shape that you want. My idea to use the letters was because our thoughts, when we think something in our head, we verbalize it, right? So there are words and sentences, and they're all made of letters. And you will see in a minute I'm going to add some journaling on the art journal page, and that's all going to go in that direction of thoughts and things inside our head, or at least inside my head. So I'm just finishing removing the letters. tiny letter there, few more. I just love this. This is turned out really great. Last big one, the Q here, removing that. Okay, so now I can take a look at that. Isn't that great? I can take a black pen and just add smaller letters in between those big white letters, just here and there, to add a little bit of contrast. Just random letters. Here and there. Just write them, you know, capital letters, smaller letters, whatever, again in different directions. And what I'm going to do now is, I have a funnel, right? So from the tip of the funnel, I am going to start writing something. And basically, I'm writing about how all the things that are jumbled up in my head, all the ideas and everything, they all sort of create a funnel of things that concentrate into one point, and that point is the idea that pops out of my head. The idea for a project or an art piece or an art journaling or whatever. And this is how it feels, like all of a sudden everything concentrates into one point, and that's the idea. So I'm also going to write some words, and again sentences that describe that feeling in my head that precedes the idea that I get. Sometimes people ask me, how do you come up with all your ideas? I have no idea how I do that. It just comes up in my mind. And this is maybe one way of looking at it, of how it happens. Inspiration is a really wonderful thing. Nobody knows how it works exactly, but, well, that's for brain researchers and stuff. So I have a Posca pen here, which is a little, the tip is larger, so I want to write some words, ideas and dreams, and fears and thoughts. These are all things that are jumbled up there, and again they funnel. They are all mixed up together, and then comes that tip of the funnel which produces that one idea, sometimes more than one if I'm lucky. So these are all this is a really cool way of looking at my brain. Adding a few more words, inspiration, creativity, imagination. So this is basically our video tutorial for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I really enjoyed having fun and doing this art journal page. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Visit my website. You'll get a clickable link in a second. And thank you very much for joining me. I'll see you all next time.